Today is a very special stream. I'm going to be talking about everything esports, how I got into it, what you can do to get into it, get into the industry, and a bunch of other very awesome things, okay? This is a very special stream for me because how I got into esports was definitely not normal. Esports is not like any other fucking industry, right? It's not like being a doctor where there's like a set path of you going to school, studying, doing, learning from another doctor and all that shit, right? So I'm gonna be going through just some my own way to like how I got into esports, and also ways that I think would be the best way to actually enter the scene, because like I said, there's no given path. Esports, baby, that's what we're talking about. All right, now why should you listen to me? Let me tell you why. Okay, 1, certified brown kid. 2, I work for C9, one of the biggest esports organizations around, and I did it coming out of college. So right out of college, I went right into C9. I was voted most handsome by my mom. I love my mom, and she's not biased in any way. I can confirm that I was the most handsome kid in all of my classes growing up. And then, final note, got hired with no experience. When I applied to C9, I actually had no experience in esports at all and no experience in social media. So you're thinking, how the fuck did this guy even get considered, right? And I'm gonna get to that. But first, let's talk about my journey, okay? So if you can see this picture, it's a picture of a YouTube video that says working for free, a Cloud9 video application. So just to give some context, it was February of 2020, 3 months before my graduation. I was attending San Diego State University, otherwise known as SDSU, and I was doing a bachelor's degree in marketing. So yeah, 3 months before graduation, I'm sitting here and I'm like, it's February. I'm like, holy shit, I'm gonna graduate really soon. What the hell do I want to do with my life? And I did a self-assessment of what I liked and what I wanted to do with my life. And I was like, okay, well, I like video games and I really like watching esports. So let's see if there's a way for me to break into this scene. And I started doing a lot of research. I started looking at like what is like required of people. What do people look for when they're looking for, people to join esports organizations? And what I realized was that it doesn't matter what you went to school for or anything, because I know people that went to school for computer science majors and now work in social degrees and now work in social media. Or I know people that used to be teachers and now they're working as like management, right? Which you could kind of see the connection, right? But that's what it's all about. In February is when I realized, okay, I want to start working on something to apply for these companies, because I need to do something extra because I don't have that experience, right? And so one of my best friends, Dylan, inspired me a lot. Both my friends, Dylan and Michael, both worked on this video to kind of the same thing, an application video, being like, yo, like, we want to work for you guys, like, this is what we're gonna do. And they did it a lot cooler than I did. They went into the office, they provided, like, they made like actual art and gave it to the company they wanted to work for. And I got the whole idea of making a application video from them. And so after I saw them do this, I was like, why can't I do the same exact thing? There's no fucking reason why I can't do the same thing and get a job the same way, right? I started looking at what can I provide and what can I do and make in this video to show that I am, 1, hungry, and 2, excited and ready to do anything that's asked of me. And so, there are a lot of different things you have to do to get even considered, right? When you don't have experience like I did. And the number one thing, regardless of if you're trying to work in esports or any fucking company in the world, if you're trying to get hired, there's one thing that should be on your mind, and only one thing, and that's value. How can you provide value to the company that you want to work for. If you saw my video, in my video, I did 2 different things to show the value that I could bring. I made sports cards to show that, you know, I'm thinking about the industry, where I think it's headed towards, and also showing that I have some sort of like creative ability. Like I can use Photoshop, I can, you know, make something cool, right? And on the bottom right is, I think, the most important part for the video and who I was and how to show value was that I could make TikToks. And not only did I say, here's the thing, you have to talk with your actions, not words, right? So when you just write on your resume, hey, I can do something for you, like that's cool, but actually being able to demonstrate that you can do it is a completely different thing. And not only did I say I can make you TikToks, but I made 8 to 10 TikToks for them and emailed it to literally anyone I could email within C9. I sent all these videos and TikToks to. But it's about the value that you can provide, and you always want to make it contextual, right? Like this application, if I'm making a C9 application, it's not going to work for fucking TSM, right? Like it's got to be contextual to TSM or whoever you're applying to. In my video, I also used the C9 theme song that they use for their series called On Cloud 9 in like season 3. Like everything that I had planned and every shot that I had used in my video was contextual and used for a reason. Like I didn't just sit down and make this video in 2 days, right? Like I planned it out, I did research, I did everything I needed to do in order to show them that not only was I serious, but that I was a fan. Like I enjoyed watching the content, I enjoyed being a part of the culture. When I was in San Diego, in those 3 months leading up to May, which is when I ended up applying for C9, I was literally on hitmarker.net every single day. I also looked at LinkedIn. One of the biggest things that I really like want to emphasize is Twitter DMs, and something I personally didn't utilize enough when I was trying to find you know, a job in esports, was DMing people on Twitter and actually getting your name out there. It's something that I think is super undervalued, and anyone and everyone should be DMing as many people as they can. Another thing is career pages on websites. Just constantly look at websites of companies that are within the industry you're looking for. I know I could bring up C9's career page right now, and I know there are 8 job listings right now that, you know, C9 is hiring for. So constantly checking those, putting a reminder every week to see if it's been updated. Stuff like that is really good to help you find potential opportunities for yourself. If there's 2 or 3 things that I want you guys to leave this presentation with, I want you to think value, context, and constantly DMing people and constantly reaching out. Value meaning, what can you provide to the company that you're trying to work for? Why should they hire you? Ask yourself these questions and find answers, and find a way to show that in a way that might be more creative than just a regular resume. That's why I made my video, because I saw my friends do it. I saw how creative it was, and it gives the employer another deeper look into who you are, rather than just giving them a piece of paper and saying you're good at these things. Another thing is context. Make it contextual. If I'm applying for a content position, I'm not gonna sit down and apply with a social media resume, right? So you wanna make sure that your resume and everything that you're doing towards applying for that job is contextual for that job, right? And then, like I said, Twitter DMs, reaching out, that is something I want to stress on so bad, because it's literally like how I got my job. Sure, I made the video, and that definitely is like probably the biggest reason, right? But behind my video was a lot of strategy as well. I posted on Twitter, posted on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. I emailed it to Galen, Jack, Mateus. I emailed it to people in C9 that don't even have anything to do with social media. I emailed it to team managers. You know, I put it on Reddit. I had my own cousin put it on the C9 subreddit because I didn't want people to think I was too cocky and upload it myself. So I had my own cousin upload it on the C9 subreddit and say, yo, you guys should check this out. He's sick as fuck. And honestly, I laugh about it every time because it's so funny to me, but I felt like it was too cocky to post it myself. And I also feel like if I had posted it myself, people would have been like, oh bro, get that self-promoting bullshit out of here, right? So I did the smarter thing, and I had my cousin post the video for me. That all led up to traction on Reddit, people seeing it on Reddit. That's actually, I think, how Jack ended up seeing it, is because people started seeing it on Reddit and it had over like 200 upvotes. Everyone ended up seeing it, and I got an interview. Those are the 3 final things I wanted to leave off with in terms of this presentation: is value, context, and DMing and reaching out. That's honestly like the best thing you can do for yourself. Okay. One of the things that I actually didn't do, but I feel like is one of the most helpful things you can do to actually end up in esports, is being collegiate. Because I didn't really know about any opportunities at my school. And like I said, I didn't really figure out that I wanted to do esports until it was 3 months before my graduation. So I didn't have like leisure to join a club and just kind of be like, oh yeah, I'm part of collegiate, right? So one of the things that you can do, even if you struggle to find internships or find any way to actually work for a company and just get your foot in the door, is become a part of a collegiate program. Like, be a part of esports in your school. Go volunteer for events like LCS. Like Ricky, one of my friends who works at EG now, is he used to volunteer for C9 at like events, at tailgates, and he would help out and like pass out merch and like actually interact with fans and stuff. That's all stuff you can put on your resume. Even if you don't have work experience, it's all valuable, because one, it shows that you care about the scene, and it also shows you're passionate, right? So that's one really big thing that I really like. And collegiate is definitely a huge part of getting yourself into esports. Now, you don't need to be a part of it. I definitely wasn't, but I feel like if there is a easier path to esports, it definitely involves being a part of your clubs and these organizations at school. If you want to just put yourself above anyone else that is also trying to compete with you over something, you have to find a way to stand out. And I'm living proof of that, because I didn't have experience, and somehow I was able to beat out over 1,000 other applicants. Do I think anyone else had a better resume than me? Absolutely. I would bet that over 80% of the people that applied to that C9 social media internship had a better resume than me. I'm not saying that to be cocky or anything, but like, at the end of the day, I went against the norm, and I did something that was different from everyone else. So it's really about standing out, and if you can stand out, it helps you so much. It helps you so much. Overall, like I said, I really appreciate anyone that really just came out to listen to this fucking child talk about esports. I'm still a noob. Like, I want everything that I've said tonight, I want you all to take with a little bit of grain of salt, because I'm only a year and like 3 months into esports, right? But I really feel like I've learned a lot, and enough that is shared, like something that can be shared. So that's why I'm doing this. I want it to be more helpful and give a stream that's dedicated towards helping people pursue what they want to do in esports and stuff, or just try to give more insight, right? So I hopefully that was helpful. If anyone's still watching and ever wants to ask a question, you can always DM me. My DMs are always open. And I'll try to answer as best as I can. I'm still learning, so I'm not like some esports expert, right? I don't know the answer to everything, but I will try my best.